So welcome to English class again. Today we will be talking about different types of sentence structure. There are different ways to say things. There are 3 different types of sentences in English. And so we will talk about those in 2 different types of verbs, present simple tense and past simple tense. So sentence structure will change with each one. So we will talk about that. 3 types of sentences. English has 3 types. Each of them is similar but different. And it is important to learn these differences. And they change with different tenses. As you get into grade 5, you will start learning present perfect tense, which is verb 3. And then you will learn more and more tenses as you learn English. And the sentence structure will change with each tense. So we will go through the different types of sentences for each tense and tell you about the sentence structure in each. So the 3 types are positive, negative, and question. So every tense will have a positive sentence structure, a negative sentence structure, and a question sentence structure. So maybe you don't know exactly what I mean. I will try to explain it. So a positive sentence is a sentence that something has happened, an action has happened or is going to happen. So this is the easiest type of sentence. Positive sentence, and present simple tense is the easiest tense. So we will start with positive sentences for present simple tense. Again, students draw on the screen every time. But can just erase. Okay. So for a positive sentence, you write subject, verb, object. This is the easiest type of sentence. So the subject is the person who is doing an action, who does an action. A verb is the action, is done. And there you must add S or ES if the subject is he, she, it, or one name. The verb to be is a little bit different. You write is, am, are. And then you can have an object or no object. Nata Chai, you are going to speak Thai. Can you please mute your microphone? Thank you. So examples of positive sentences for verb 1. I eat chicken. You sing songs. He drives a car. He, so add S. And it watches TV. It, so add S, but watch ends in CH, so we must add ES. So these are the easiest types of sentences. So now I'll go through a little bit of when to use verb 1. I think right now is a little bit simple because you only have verb 1 and verb 2. But as you get into grade 5 and you will have verb 3, and then next year you will talk about passive voice. So we'll talk about when to use verb 1. So we use verb 1 or present simple tense for actions that are reoccurring. They happen again and again and again. Maybe things that happened yesterday, they happen today, they will happen tomorrow, they happen again and again and again. So example, I brush my teeth. This happened yesterday, it happened today, it will happen tomorrow, and the next day, and the day, every day, I will brush my teeth. I phone my mom. My mother lives in Canada, and so I phone my mom every Saturday. Every Saturday I talk to my mom. So I say I phone my mom because last Saturday I called, this Saturday I will call, next Saturday I call. And one more, I celebrate Christmas. So Christmas only happens once a year, but I celebrate Christmas last year, this year, next year. So it doesn't matter how often it happens, maybe every day, maybe every week, maybe every year. But if it happens again and again and again, we will use verb 1. So we will talk a little bit about negative sentences. Negative sentences have a different sentence structure, a little bit. And what a negative sentence is a sentence that says an action has not occurred, is not occurring, it is not happening. So positive is an action is happening, will happen. Negative will not happen. Okay? So this is the sentence structure for present simple tense or verb 1. So subject plus don't or doesn't plus verb plus object. So the subject again is the person who doesn't do an action. Don't or doesn't, it is similar to the Thai word my. So don't, use don't for I, you, we, they, and doesn't for he, she, it. Again, doesn't if it's one name, or don't if it's 2 names, 3 names, 4 names, if you are using names. And then the verb, the action that is not done. So here we do not add s or es. So this verb, you will not have s or es for he, she, it, because you already add es for he, she, it here. So you do not add it here. You do not have an s on this verb. Only on do or doesn't, don't or doesn't. Okay? And the last, object or no object, depending on the sentence. Maybe there is an object, maybe there is no object. Verb to be is a little bit different. If you have a positive sentence, it is easier. You just am, is, are. But the subject is, you say am not, or isn't, or aren't. So you don't say don't or doesn't. It's am, not, is not, are not. So all the other verbs you say do or doesn't, except verb to be. So I will show you some examples. So I don't eat chicken. You don't sing songs. He doesn't drive a car. It doesn't watch TV. And it is the verb to be. They aren't doctor. So as you can see, it is not drive, it's drive. Students, I will mute you again. It is too loud. Please turn off your microphone. This is English class. I will do it for you. He is because it is too difficult to hear with all the Thai. And same with watch. There is no es because you have it already here. So you don't have to use an s again. You only have to use one time, and it already did it. Okay, so these are examples of negative sentences. Do not write. I see many students, sometimes they do this, but do not write You cannot write I not eat chicken. You cannot say this. I don't eat chicken. I do not eat chicken. Okay. But not I not eat chicken. Cannot say that. You cannot say he no drive. You cannot say he no drive. These are not words that mean that are used in a negative sentence. You say do not or does not or don't or doesn't. Okay. So questions. The third type of sentence is a question. Questions are used when you want an answer from somebody, when you want information, you want them to tell you something. And the sentence structure will change to tell the person you want an answer from them. You want them to speak back to you. Sometimes in English, you will have a conversation and a sentence you don't know if somebody is asking you a question or they are telling you information. And that happens when you don't use the correct sentence structure. So if you use this sentence structure, a native speaker will know that you are asking a question. So this is for verb 1. The first word is do or does. It can also be a WH question word like who, what, where, when. But for this, we are talking just about do or does without a question word. So do or does plus the subject, verb, and object. So you change from subject first and then do does to do does first and then subject. So in this sense, do does before the subject tells you it is a question. So again, the subject is the person you want to know if they do an action. Again, this is the same as a negative. The verb, you do not add an S or ES to the verb. To this verb, you do not add S or ES because you already have it here. You already added it. So do not add it again. Okay, and the object is object or no object. And verb to be is different. Again, we do not use do or does with the verb to be. You just say is, am, are. So examples. Do I eat chicken? Do you sing songs? Does he drive a car? Does it watch TV? And verb to be, are they doctors? So you can see how the sentence will change. And again, drive and watch. You do not add S or ES because you have already added it to DOES, does. Okay, so we will practice a little bit to see if you can figure it out. You can write in the chat. I will show you sentences and you write in the chat whether they are positive, negative, or a question. I think you should be able to do this easily. But to make it easy, in the chat, just write POS for positive, NEG for negative, or QUES for question. You don't have to write the whole word, just write the short version, POS, NEG, QUES. Okay? So the first one, there are 6. First one, I am hungry. Is this positive, POS, negative, NEG, or question, QUES? No, always the first one. Yes, this is a positive sentence, correct. How about number 2? Are you tall? How about are you tall? POS, NEG, or QUES? All three, question, positive, and negative. This is a question. So the subject is not the first word. You is not first. If it is a positive sentence, then you will be first. You are tall. It's a positive sentence. This is a question. You can also see as a question because of the question mark. Questions will have a question mark as well. So that can help you to know if it's a question. So number 3, do you have a phone? Is this pause, negative, or a question? Do you have a phone? I'm not asking you. You don't have to show me your phone, iPhone. Just write question or negative or positive. Question. Yeah, correct. How about this one? She doesn't like buffaloes. Is this positive, negative, or question? Yes, correct. Again, she doesn't like buffaloes is a negative sentence. It has doesn't. How about it eats frogs? It eats. Positive, yes. And the last one, he isn't fat. He isn't fat. Yes. Yeah, negative. Okay, good to see that. I think you guys understand. So this is pretty easy. I think verb 1, as you guys have learned verb 1 for a long time. So I think we will do verb 2. We'll talk about verb 2 today as well. Past simple tense. In Thailand, you say verb 1, verb 2, verb 3. But in English, we do not say that. We would say for verb 1 is present simple tense, verb 2, past simple tense. We'll talk about verb 3 later this year. So when to use past simple tense? When will we use? We use past simple tense for actions that are finished already. This means for actions that happened in the past. They may happen again, they may not happen again. We're not talking about what will happen. We are only talking about the one action that happened. So the example I gave about verb 1, I brush my teeth. If I say I brush my teeth, I say I brushed my teeth yesterday, today, tomorrow. I go on and on. If I say I brushed my teeth today, using verb 2, that only means that one time today, this morning. It's only talking about one action. Whereas verb 1 is talking about more than one action. Verb 2 is always only talking about past. So if something happened in the past, and you are talking about that action, you'll use verb 2. So I'll go through some examples. We'll talk more about verb 2 in a couple weeks. So again, there are 3 types of sentences. We will look at the different sentence structure for all 3 types using past simple tense now. So for a positive sentence, it is the same. Subject, verb, object. The verb will be different though. You will use verb 2, not verb 1, as your verb. So the subject is the same, the person. The verb is the action done. Do not add S or ES. This does not happen with verb 2. That only happens with verb 1. And verb 2b, the past tense is was or were. And again, object or no object. Some sentences have object, some no object. So I'll go through some examples. So I ate chicken. So verb 1 is eat. Verb 2 is ate. So we change the verb, the word for the verb. Another example. You sang songs. So verb 1 is sing, verb 2 sang. So you change the verb a little bit. He drove a car. Again, you do not add s for he, she, or it. All verb 2s are the same for all. I, you, we, they, he, she, it. All verb 2s are the same. You do not change them. I watched TV. So add ed. Or they were doctors. So you have to learn all different verb 2s from verb 1. But there is a shortcut. Most verb 2s, usually you just add ed to verb 1. So if you don't know the verb 2 word, you can just guess and add ed, and you will probably be right most of the time. There are many verb 2s that don't add ed, and you have to remember them. There is no easy way to learn them. We will learn more about it next week or the week after, though. I will go through different verb 2s with you. But first, just sentence structure. So how about negative sentence structure? So in this one, subject plus didn't plus verb plus object. So in verb 1, subject plus don't or doesn't, there are two different ones. But if it's verb 2, you don't have to worry about he, she, it adding s. It's just didn't for all subjects. So again, the subject is the person or people. Didn't do an action. Didn't, again, is my. The verb done is the action. For this one, if you're talking about this verb, you use the verb 1, but without es. Es and s is only for verb 1. So once you using past tense, you do not add s or es. And this is verb 1, is not verb 2, because you have verb 2 here already. Did is verb 2 for the verb do. So do, does is verb 1, did is verb 2. So in negative sentences, you change this word. You do not change the verb. This is the easy part about negative sentences. And then the object or no object, depending on the sentence. And verb to be, again, is different. Verb to be is special. It is different than every other one. So subject, wasn't or weren't, plus the object. So I will show you the same examples again in the new sentence structure. So I didn't eat chicken. So with positive, you had to change eat to ate. But if it is a negative, you do not change it, because this word is a verb 2. So it's already changed. You don't have to change the verb to eat. So I didn't eat chicken. You didn't sing songs. He didn't drive a car. It didn't watch TV. So for all the subjects, I, you, we, he, she, it, all is didn't. And the verb is just verb 1 with no s or es. And verb to be, they weren't doctors. So it is easier in some ways, but more difficult in other ways as well. So how about questions? Questions for past simple tense. So similar to questions with verb 1, you put with verb 1 do or does before the subject. For verb 2, you write did before the subject. The subject is not the first word in a question. Either you have a WH word or do, did, or does. So this tells the person you are talking to. It is a question because you are not saying the person first. So did just tells you it's a question when you say that word first. And the subject is the people, and the verb again is verb 1, but with no s or es. And then if there is an object, write the object. Sometimes there is no object, so don't write an object. And again, verb to be is different. So wasn't or weren't plus the subject plus object. So examples, I'll use the same examples to show you the difference. So did I eat chicken? So again, didn't, did is the first word, not the subject. Subject is not the first word. Did is the first word. Did I eat chicken? Not did I eat chicken. Do not use verb to for the action. Did you sing songs? Did he drive a car? Did it watch TV? Were they doctors? So the first word is always did, unless it's verb to be, then the first word is was or were. So can practice again. This will be a little bit different though, because now we have 2 verb tenses and 3 sentence structures. So there is 6 different possibilities. So I will give you sentences and you tell me first, are they present simple tense or past simple tense? And tell me, are they positive or negative? So the things that you will write are V1 or V2 plus POS or NEG. So POS for positive, NEG for negative, or QUES for questions. So just to show you what it looks like that you will write. So you will write these either V1 POS, V1 NEG, V1 QUES, V2 POS, V2 NEG, V2 QUES. Maybe this is difficult to remember, but just remember POS, NEG, QUES, positive, negative, or question, and V1 or V2. Okay, I hope you can remember. So first, come here. Okay. So 6 examples again. So I don't play games. So is this verb 1 or verb 2? And is it positive, negative, or a question? So V1, V2, POS, NEG, QUES. You can write in the chat. Yes, okay, very good, very good. Yes, this is a verb 1 with a negative sentence. How about number 2? Did you go home? Is it verb 1 or verb 2? And is it positive, negative, or question? Okay. Oh, just Nana, only Nana. Okay, yes, Nana, you're correct. Yes, verb 2, and it is a question. How about number 3? She didn't walk to school. She didn't walk to school. Is it verb 1 or verb 2? And is it positive, negative, or question? You don't have to write question or positive. You can just write QUES. It's just easier and quicker. Yes. Yes, Number 3 is, it is verb 2 and negative. Yes, most of you got correct. How about number 4? He loves his mother. Verb 1 or 2, and positive, negative, or question. Verb 2 positive, verb 2 positive. So it has an S added to it, which makes it verb 1. But it is positive. This is verb 1 positive. Verb 2 would be loved. It would end with a D, not an S. Okay, how about number 5? Am I beautiful? Am I beautiful? This is verb 1 or verb 2? And is it positive, negative, or a question? Yes. Yes, this one you guys got correct. Yes, it is verb 1 and it is a question. And one more. I was short. I was short. Verb 1 or verb 2 and positive, negative, or question. Chongjai, I think you mean POS, not OOS. Yes. Yes, this is verb 2 positive, correct. Yes. Okay. So that is all the time for today. That is, we can finish here. And I will not see you tomorrow, but I will see you on Monday. So until then, I will say goodbye and see you on Monday.